Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to demonstrate how I measure user satisfaction when my users are interacting with my LLM application. Before I show you how I'm doing that, let's take a quick look at how my conversations are structured. Here I have a list of LLM tasks, and each LLM task represents one dialogue with the model. Here I have the user input and the model output, and then I have all these properties that add metadata to the dialog, such as the emotion, country name, the browser, etc. Now I'm going to the dashboard here. So there are lots of methods to evaluate user satisfaction, from surveys to questionnaires, or asking users, for example, how likely they are to recommend the application to other users. I don't have any of these methods in my app, but I do have alternatives. So here I track simple but vital metrics like the number of new users each day or week. Even though I'm seeing an upward trend with a growing user base, this increase doesn't necessarily mean that all my users are satisfied with their experience or that my model is meeting their expectations. So it's very important, very crucial to look beyond just these user statistics. So down here, I have some metrics to help me understand user satisfaction. And as you can see here on the left, I have the trend for the thumbs down events, where I count the number of clicks when a user does not like the response from my model. This is since the start of the year. This is a very similar implementation to ChatGPT's interface, and it's a good metric that can give me a good idea how my model's responses are perceived by my users. The downside with this metric is that it relies on users actively choosing to engage with the feedback system, with a button. Not every user, myself included, for example, who has bad experiences will necessarily use the button. Some users may simply stop using the app without providing any feedback. Another graph that I have here is the trend for the number of interruptions when the chat model is generating a response, specifically when the user exits the conversation. In my app, there is two ways to stop generation. One is by clicking the stop button, and the other is by leaving the current conversation. Now, interrupting a model response by clicking the button doesn't necessarily mean that the user is unhappy with the response. Maybe they want to refine the query, or maybe the information provided by the model is in the first line of the response. On the other hand, leaving the conversation entirely can signal some form of dissatisfaction or lack of engagement, so I'm tracking that here as well. Obviously, this metric is very specific to my app. An easier alternative is to use NLP models to read the user and the agent text, such as an emotions model. And here I'm tracking the number of events over time where the user expresses a disapproval emotion. The model that I'm using here contains lots of labels such as sadness, angerness, and annoyance. This is just one simple example with one of the labels. Another model that I'm using to detect user dissatisfaction are the flow models. They are not here because I'm going to show how to build a graph and add it to the dashboard. The flow models are models that can pick up on common user and agent dialogue patterns, such as an apology from model's mistakes or lack of understanding between the user and the agent. And I have one model, one for the user text and another for the agent texts. So I'm going to create a new graph here, one series for the user texts. So I'm going to select LLM task, total count. In the last, I'm going to define a custom date range since the start of the year till April 11. Can add the smoothing. And here I want to select the property user flow, and I want to select labels where, for example, model wrong or try again, when the user complains that the model has done some kind of mistake, when, for example, user complains about repetition or some lack of understanding. That should be here, lack of understanding. I also have, I'm going to create another series, one for the agent, text, and I have the agent flow property, and I can, for example, use agent apology when it apologizes for some kind of mistake, and also I think there's one more, agent apology satisfactory. And here I have the trends for the two series. And there's no specific upward or downward trends. So I can save this and add this to the dashboard. Let's see. And now I have some metrics that I can use to track and gain a sense of how well the interactions with my LLM are going. As for the origin for some of these properties in the LLM task event, the emotion, for example, the emotions and the flow labels in my dialogues, they come from the data pipeline page here, data pipeline page in the apps here. They come from these plugins. So the data I send to PostHog-LLM is automatically labeled by these plugins. As you can see here, I have the GeoIP plugin, the emotion and the flow label plugins, and this is extremely useful to quickly add labels to your data and easily add them as well. So I hope you like this video, and if you find it interesting, give it a like and subscribe to my channel.